Hi, everybody. Welcome to live signing. It's my live signing, as opposed to when I'm dead and signing, I guess, where they put, then if you die, they put the pen in your hand and move it so they can still say it's your signature. That's the dead signing. That will come out in about, hopefully, 100 years. Anyways, welcome. Matthew Benjamin from it's not Simon & Schuster anymore.
Well, it's Touchstone.
It's Touchstone, which, I don't know, it's a conglomerate. That's all I know. I was forced into this book because something I said to somebody, and now I had to do it. And no, it's been a delightful. I just am really happy to be here. I love the book. I'm having so much fun. I'm talking about the book, and the book took a lot of work to do, but it's finally done, and it's a relief. But also, I don't mind doing signings because people really love a signed copy of a book. I know I do. I will sometimes sign a book to myself.
One that's on your shelf?
No, yeah, somebody else's, but I'll just sign it and think that could give it value.
Do you put your own name on it or the other person's
Sometimes
name?
Pedro.
Sometimes
Pedro Anderson. Anyways.
Hello. So we are at a live signing. This is for anybody who isn't able to see Louie live in a store. We have this wonderful setup here, and you can go to louiebook.com and you can get the book and you can ask Louie questions, and we're going to read a bunch of fan questions through the night, and we have some to start with. But I think before we get to that,
we should do a signing.
We could sign a book.
We should sign one book to start, the inaugural.
Then we can show everybody your signature. But I wanted to, since you and I worked on this.
Yes.
So I know a little bit more about this now after working on this with you. But I think it would be cool to tell people how you came to this title and how it's kind of a partner with another book that you did.
Well, I did a book in 88 or 89 now. I think it came out in 89, but I probably started writing it in 87 or 88, in the olden days. And I was on tour, and I just had this thought. I was doing Summerfest in Wisconsin, with In Excess was next to me, and I was in the next thing doing comedy. Hey, Butter! And then you would hear that, and I go, "This is ridiculous." But when you're a comic, you want to work, and it was fun. And it was daylight, and we were leaving, and all these people. You could drink there. You drink, and there's music and everything. And it reminded me, the one guy who was there reminded me of my dad. He was a little hammered, and so I went back to the hotel. The Pfister Hotel in Milwaukee, and said, wrote in a journal I had, "Dear Dad," and I told him about being reminded of him, and started writing these letters. And then People Magazine did an article on adult children of alcoholics, and I said, I don't really want to talk about it, but I have these letters that I wrote to my dad, and they took them, and we got such a great response that I was in the middle of doing a biography, I think with Simon & Schuster. Is that true? I think it was Susan Moldo was the person. Anyways, I don't know how it all worked out, but anyways, I decided to do Dear Dad with Penguin, and a different kind of book, and then here we are.
And so these are letters to your mom.
One day I came home from work, and I was out on the road. I don't know where I was, but I just said, "Hey, Mom, something had really triggered me, to say it's been a long time since she died." And I said, "Hey, how are you? Sorry it took me so long to write you." I've always thought that it was a good mechanism to kind of reach out, because I always would talk to her. "Hey, Mom, how are you? What's going on? Is Dad around? Can he drink up there? I hope he can." That kind of a thing. And then I just wrote this one long letter, and that was really good. It felt really good. And then I wrote it right in my phone, and in the notes section. And then I wrote another one, and then something else reminded, and then I kept writing them, and then that became you know, you guys liked it and thought it would be a good book, and then we had to get it done like in 1.5 to 2 months. It was horrible. That was the horrible part. I appreciate you getting it about 1.5 months. 1.5, maybe 2, all right, 3 months, but still.
So, before he holds that against
65,000 words is in here.
Some more.
You know what? Do you know how many words that is? It's a lot. We've only said 40 so far.
So, this is a picture of you.
This is a picture of me playing Christine baskets.
And you took this picture. Which
I had it on my phone. Yeah, I took
that.
it. Yeah. And, you know, that day there wasn't a photographer for the picture, so I gave my phone to I think Cassie, who is a wardrobe person or someone like that, one of the great people at Baskets. And I said, this is a great shot. And when I first saw this hat, I go, this will be an important hat in the show. And I didn't even know what episode it would be in. But it turned out to be in the Easter episode.
I love that this is your photo.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, I mean, they really touch me up here. Don't you wish you had people who could just touch you up when you get up in the morning? I guess you could.
But I always sort of tell the story when I think about this book that it was after you started to play this role on television.
Yes.
That's a version of your mom.
Yes.
That you were thinking about this book more and more.
Yes, I mean, that was the catalyst. It was here, you know, I'm on set in full garb like that, and I'm playing a version of my mother, a very, you know, really kind of an homage, and it got overwhelming, and I got some, I mean, you know, the first of all, it's an emotional show where anything can happen and we can say and do anything, which is really great with Jonathan Kreisel, Zach Galifianakis.
But what I respected with working on this book with you, that it has a similar tone to the show. Mm-hmm. Like you've made a career of being funny, but this book is funny, but it's not a book that you would put in the humor section necessarily.
Right.
And there's a lot of heart here, and it's unpredictable, like the show in many ways.
This is a book that I didn't intend to write to you guys, but when I got in it, I wrote it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, let's say you're building something, and then you have an idea. And what happened was I opened my heart up in the middle of the book. And, you know, because the show was, you know, open, help me open that heart up. And then when you get older, you have so much more life experience. And I just had so many questions for my mom. I just said, oh man, I always tell people, call your mom, and just to say you love her, if she's around especially. And she'll think something's wrong, but nothing's wrong, but everything is right in that. And so when my mom was alive, I didn't get a chance to say out these things to her, and didn't even know I should have said them then. So this is a handbook, you know, an homage and a love letter to all moms.
Yeah, I think so too.
It really is. This, if you do not have a good relationship with your mom, and you give her this book, she'll be calling you. She will, because this book, if she reads this book is an open invitation to people getting a chance to look at things without it being too rough. You know, because I didn't, you know, I kept it, I put enough humor in it.
Yeah.
And also,
enough butter jokes. There's
enough butter jokes. And I got so lucky finding this book. And it just happened, you know, you get a chance once in a while in life to do something really good, and this is some of my best writing.
Show people this picture.
Oh yeah, this is a great picture, which is back there.
Yeah,
my mom.
I love that picture.
And this is a picture that just says it all. I don't think you can All the strength is there, the beauty's there, the hair. I like what she did with her hair there. And this is the kind of portrait pictures that people used to take.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, I was lucky enough to, yeah, it was an occasion. And my mom, you know, she had a lot of class and she had a lot of great things. She was a, you know, she's definitely the archetype for Christine Baskets. I mean, I can, you know, those are the things I say in Christine Baskets, as Christine Baskets, they're things my mother said. So I was lucky enough to capture that. And Andrew Postman, who really helped me with the book because I'm a good writer, but I couldn't put it together in that short amount of time had I not had some help. The great thing about the book for me is it holds up because I read it for audio. And it's a great audio. It's me reading it, and I'm a big crybaby in it, and a blabberpuss. But it holds up. You know, when you write a book, and then you go read it, does it hold up? And I was proud. I was very proud of it. And I didn't find a million things I wanted to change about it while I was doing it. So that was really good because I'm more of a perfectionist with words.
And in the book, I think we really get to know you and growing up, and I mean, how you were a
10th of 11.
10th of 11 kids.
I just slid out. My mom would absolutely hate that joke. She would just, women don't appreciate that joke, and I understand it, but it's such a good joke. And then I say, the best part, it gets to another, you know, all jokes are setups for the better joke. So the joke goes, I just slid out and pause, beat, I was home from the hospital before she was. You know, so that kind of a joke, that is, and then there was a tag that I added, I'm starving, where have you been, when she gets home. But my mom would absolutely, Louie, I don't find it funny. I don't think it's appropriate. I don't know why you would do a joke like that. I go, Mom, is it a little funny? Well, I guess.
Would she sit in the audience for a lot of your shows?
Yeah.
Would she talk to you after?
Yes, she would always lecture me. But, you know, when I talked about my dad, she'd fold her arms over her heart.
Did he see you?
He saw me my very first performance, but not after that. But that was good that he saw me.
Yeah.
You know, he saw me, and the next day he had a stroke, so it was really rough.
Wow.
Because I felt like, you know, I had threatened to kill him all my life. And then
That's
I
a
was
good
just
transition
hoping,
to the question.
Yeah, let's see the questions.
All right, so these are questions from fans. This is Cheryl in Geneva, Illinois.
Nice.
All right, this is a baskets question.
You bet.
Will Christine and Ken stay together?
God, I hope so. But you know, Cheryl, it's out of my hands. It's in the writer's hands because I don't decide what the show's all about. So I hope so because what a great actor Alex Morris is, and it's a believable couple, and he's a very good kisser.
All right. What nationality are you and your family? This is from Mike in Pennsylvania.
Mike, I'm Swedish, English, Irish, Norwegian, and a little bit of Pennsylvania Dutch. And you know, I found out in this book, I found out before, but I really did a little more research, where my mom's family is to the Mayflower.
Oh.
So it goes all the way back to the Mayflower, and that's why we're so white. No, but that's true. I mean, I think we were called the White Family, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, this is Brian Scott in Georgia. Thank you so much for helping me understand my mom better. As a Southern Baptist, she moved in at 82 years old with her son, and Christine and Chip were like an oracle for helping me appreciate her time with us. Love you and your authenticity. What a legacy. It's not a question, but it's very
wow,
sweet.
It's very sweet. You know, when your mom moves in with you, it's probably scary anytime, but I think people really love, on some level, I think, the only bad thing about a mom moving in, if you're married, is she's going to lecture the woman who's taking care of you. It's inevitable. She's going to go, you know what he really likes. Because my mom used to do it. You know, his shirts, he likes his shirts a certain way. And because my mom used to kind of go at it with my sister-in-laws.
All right, here's another show question from Deanne in Evans, Georgia. What happened to the twins?
The twins are on tour, so they've been on tour.
The DJ tour forever.
Yeah, they're on a big tour. I hope they return. Sign this one?
Yeah.
Okay. I hope they return it soon, but I, again, don't have anything. I saw them recently. I got together with them and hung out with them, and they were great. They were so much fun, and I've been trying to help them develop a show for them. I wrote a show idea with my friend Ed Driscoll, and I said, oh, this would be a good show idea for them. And so we're trying to help them get a show because I really believe they need one. And, they're the most lovely people in the world, the twins. You can look up the Brentwood Twins, and you can watch them jog in complete unison. They both move, it's unbelievable. They became a little bit famous from that. I don't jog, so not that I don't want to, but I don't have a twin to jog with.
All right, now this is Vonda.
Vonda, what up?
In Ohio.
Ohio.
Which do you enjoy more, stand-up comedy or acting?
Well, stand-up is so immediate and perfect, and nobody tells me what to do. In acting, there's a little more waiting around, but I would say Baskets is the first thing that equaled my stand-up. I'd say I loved it as much as I love my stand-up.
And with Baskets, do you meet with the writers at the beginning and talk about stories from your growing up?
I always go and go into the writer's room during the writers get together 6 months to a year before, and so I go in and I tell them stories. In fact, in my book, Dear Dad, there was a time when my dad got too drunk and I had to steer the car. That found itself into the episodes this year with Christine having to drive. So there's lots of parallels and lots of things, but the writers are just great. And this year especially, they're just so fantastic.
That's cool. All right, this is a very specific question. I don't know this story. So this is Krista from Minnesota.
Yeah.
How old were you and Tommy when your mom stopped asking, "Are you on dope?"
Oh, that's from a bit I do. And I guess, that was a bit, because I told my mom that my brother was on drugs, and she goes, "Are you on dope?" And then I added this, "Well, give me some." And that became a bit, and probably 9 and 11.
That's great. It was pretty
It's
early.
true. Yeah, well, we're a drug-using family.
All right. This is Kelly in Minnesota.
Hey, I'm going to be on Kelly and Ryan tomorrow. If you guys are thinking about it, and Colbert tomorrow night. So
Yeah.
Tune in, Kelly and Ryan. Kelly, I'm trying to get rid of Ryan and take his job. No, he's a great guy, but wouldn't I be good with Kelly?
I think so.
Everyone should write that.
Are you coming back to Minnesota soon?
I'm going to be at the Mall of America the 14th, this Saturday, signing these books.
I just got the news that we have Jimmy from Augusta, Arkansas on the line.
Jimmy! Oh, Jimmy from Augusta? All right, Jimmy! Hi, Jimmy.
Hey, Louie, how are you?
I'm good. What's up?
Oh, I'm doing good. It's been a while. I hadn't seen you since Vegas at the Excalibur.
Wow. That was a lot of fun back then. I did 6 years at the Excalibur. How's Arkansas? How have you been?
Doing good. I'm still the mayor and the mortician and the magician.
Oh, I think I talked to you.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
Backstage after your show.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I haven't seen you as a mortician.
Yeah, my question was, in the South, we tend to respond to tragedy in life with covered dishes. What would your mom's go-to covered dish be to respond to a tragedy in life?
butter, probably the butter dish. That little big,
Butter?
yeah, the butter dish, or she loved Corningware, so a casserole too, maybe. She'd always say, "Don't you just love Corningware?" And I go, "Not really. I'm not in love with the dish." But she would always say that, and what a sweet memory. What would be the dish that your mother would have used?
Mom would usually send a ham.
Oh, and
Yeah, Mom's actually watching the live feed with me.
hi, Mom. What's her name?
Cindy.
Cindy. I love you, Cindy. I hope you're having a wonderful. Well, that's so nice. Well, you don't know how lucky you are to have your mom there, and Cindy, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, love your work, Louie. You're a true inspiration.
Thank you so much, and you guys have a great Mother's Day. Did you already get her a gift?
Oh, yeah, I spoiled her to death.
All right. Well, you take care.
Take care, Louie.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Bye. What a sweet guy. I spoiled her to death. I wish I had an accent. I'm gonna go with an accent for a while. All right. What else do you want to know, Matthew?
No. What?
You should have answered in an accent.
I know. I was
Yes,
gonna.
You
but then
were.
I would
You
just see
chickened out.
you can do it, but like
You could have done it.
I lost it.
Go ahead.
No?
No. All right.
All right. This is Michelle in California. What one thing do you regret for not sharing with your mother?
I guess that I had tough times with all the dad stuff. I wish I would have sat and talked to her and went, "Mom, this really did a lot of damage. Dad's drinking, and if it damaged me like that, it must have damaged you." And I wish I would have sat and talked to her about it a lot more. But we were very close. Don't get me wrong. We were really, really close. We were very, very, we talked. We talked
Yep.
as friends. But, I wish I would have, I was kind of just full of myself and getting into my career. And I didn't realize, I thought she'd be alive forever. Because you don't realize you're going to die until your mom dies mostly.
Yeah.
That's my theory. Because when my dad died, I felt bad. But when my mom died, I went, "Oh my God, I think I could die now."
Yeah.
Damn it. But so I wish I would have talked to her about the things that were really difficult.
All right. Now we get to flip it. This is Mary Beth in
Hi, Mary
Georgia.
Beth.
She's also in Augusta. What is your favorite or one of your favorite childhood memories of your mother?
I guess my favorite would be going to the flea market or garage sales. I mean, it was so much fun. First of all, my mom was a world-class junk picker. She loved junk. She loved going. She could find the weirdest little things and then be thrilled about them. Can you believe I got that for a quarter? She'd say. And she just had a lot of fun, and she knew stuff. We'd go somewhere, and she'd go, "Do you know what that is?" I go, "No, I don't know what that is." "That's a salt dip. So you can put your radish in there at a dinner." "Oh, okay, good." "What's this?" "Do you know what that is?" "No, that's a vinegar cruet." And they sat on tables when I was growing up. You had oil and vinegar cruets. All right, big shot. But I missed that. I had so much fun. And we would just go, and she would just say, "Pull over, let's look at it, see if there's anything we need." "Mom, we need nothing because the house is already full of this crap."
All right. Carlos has a very specific question.
Yeah.
He's in Texas. What's your favorite Tom Hanks movie?
Big.
Why Big?
Just because Big was such a great idea.
Yeah.
Like, if you could go back and you had that chance, that's what I'm writing in this book. If I could go back, I would have been such friends with my mom. I would have done, I guess, maybe I say that, but maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I thought I would. But, he actually got a chance to do it, to go in and do it. And it was just a beautiful, beautiful story. And I think Gary Marshall directed it, one of my favorite comedy directors. And Tom Hanks is just, he really did some beautiful stuff, and that's my favorite. I like a lot of them, but that's it.
Yeah, I like that one too.
What's his favorite one?
It doesn't say.
What's your favorite one, Matthew?
Now I can only think of Big.
Oh.
I can think of Bosom Buddies too.
Oh, Bosom Buddies, yeah. I always like that idea that, you know, those guys lost out on having him as a superstar on TV.
How much of your own mom do you bring to your portrayal of Christine?
I say that every single thing I can remember, I try to get in there. And I'll be right out! Every time I hear honking in New York, I go, I'll be right out! It's because in the Midwest, when people honk, it's a big deal. Like, you're not supposed to do that. I'll be right out, don't honk. So I think what I bring is, I bring my mom to life, is what I'm really working on. You know, I know all of her sayings. I know what she would do for the most part. And the other thing that I really love is now I do some secret things that they don't know I'm doing, that are moms. Little gestures on the desk. You'll see me, if you look at this year where I had my own desk and I had my name tag on it.
Will your siblings call you and be like, oh, I know what you did there?
Yeah. Yeah, they will.
That's awesome.
Hey, let me show them, guys, if you can see it. Can you see it on my phone? I just want to show you my picture of my sister. I know I'm not supposed to improvise here, but I'm doing it. I guess you guys don't care.
No. We're good.
I can't ever do anything easily. I got this all screwed up already. But I have this. This is the picture of me and my sister Lisa, whose birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa! It's your birthday today. And that's her, and that's me.
Louie had changed.
Oh, don't you hate when that happens? Here, sorry.
There we go.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
Anyways, you can see it I have it on all my social media. But anyways, that was really fun that she sent me that picture of her after I got the bangs. And it's just like when Christine got the bangs. And it was just so much fun to put those side by side for her birthday.
This Cheryl in Wisconsin asks about the bangs. She's like, do you like the wig with bangs? She asks.
Well, bangs are a lot of work. And they're always in your eyes and they're always in your mouth. You're always going like that with bangs. I didn't know what women had to go through. I knew now, I realize bangs are not easy to have. But I always ask, I don't comment on them myself, but I always ask you guys, bangs or no bangs for next year? You got to tell me, because I want to do a poll on it. And bangs, what about you, Matthew? Bangs or no bangs?
I like the wig.
You
It's
like
very-
just without the bangs?
No, I like the bangs.
You like the bangs?
Yeah, it feels very like a new wave band.
Okay. Bangs? Bangs? It does feel fun and fresh. It makes Christine look younger too, which I like.
Yeah, that exactly. All right, so you may or may not be able to tell Rick this.
I won't.
He is in Montana.
Ah,
What
big sky
was the-
country. Isn't that what they call it, or is that Wyoming?
Yeah, I think it's all the same. It's up there.
Yeah, that's nice how you could just get a blanket cover of that, Matthew.
What was the funniest moment not seen on screen while filming Baskets?
Let's see. Oh, so Zach and I, it's me. They all come in, and I got them T-shirts from the women's conference. I bought 100 because they gave me a deal. That's something my mom would do. That was right out of my mom's playbook. And Zach, Eddie was there. Eddie, you know the guy who runs.
The Western guy.
And Dale was in it. So it was Dale, then Ernie. I don't know who else was there. So it was the last scene of the year. People don't know that. It's like the last scene of the year. And Zach looked at me, and I started laughing because Ernie did such funny line that was ad-libbed, and we had to not Jonathan, it was the only time he ever got a little mad. We could not stop laughing, and everybody wanted to go home, but we couldn't. And that was the funniest scene. I always say to Jonathan, why don't you put the outtakes in, because we've had so many great ones. But he won't, so. Right, Jonathan Christ, I'll tell him to do that. But that was the funniest thing. We could not, and when two comics, you know, like,
Start laughing.
and then we made it a game. Then
Yeah.
every time we stopped laughing, I would look at him like that. That was so much fun.
Do you know if you're doing stand up, and if you do you listen for your friends in the audience, your comic friends, and if you hear them laugh, you
I would know. I know friends that are in the audience,
Yeah.
and there are some at the Comedy Store more than anywhere. You would always hear. It was always like, you know, like to hear Robin laugh, or to hear Seinfeld laugh, or to hear anybody laugh that you also admire. Yeah, you hear everything. That's the thing. You have cat hearing when you're doing the stand up. You could hear somebody go, "Ugh, you can't stand this guy," at that low,
Yeah.
and you go, "What? What'd you say? What was that?" I'm gonna do another half hour now.
did you ever see Larry David do stand up?
Yes.
Is it true just how awful he was at it, or was
No, he was. He says he was awful, but all the comics were in the back dying, but the crowd wasn't getting it. But he was ahead of his time, is really what happened. It happened with Jim Carrey. He was probably one of the best impressionists ever, and he gave that up. And so Mitzi at the Comedy Store put him on really late, and he just started with that thing where he put his hand like that. That was his starting thing. And he would do a couple of singing impressions, and he'd fall on the ground. He'd, do slapstick, and until he kept finding it. He found the fire marshal and all that stuff he found by working. But I saw him, and it was just like I gave him so much credit. I mean, that guy could have made $6 to $10 million a year just doing the impressions. Can you imagine that? And to be so strong, he could give that up. So I love that he followed his heart like that. I love him. In fact, I guess there's a great picture of him and I in the Gary Shandling
I haven't seen
documentary
that.
that Judd Apatow did. Gary Shandling, we all adored and watched Gary Shandling every time, because he was the best. He was maybe the best joke writer ever.
So what was it? So it was the joke and not the delivery. Or was it the?
For him, for Gary,
Was it?
I loved his character.
Yep.
Because he'd just be almost laughing, and I can't do Gary, but I still think of jokes he's told, and just he would work on jokes and jokes and jokes and jokes, and just we all were jealous.
If there's something you could tell the young stand-up self, what would it be?
To not be so afraid to try everything on stage. To not be afraid. In fact, I tell you to do that with your life. I tell people every time I get in a Lyft or an Uber, I tell them, when they tell me they're in show business or anything, I go, don't give up. Just go do it. You're doing the right thing, and go towards it. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. If but you have to. I always tell people, work as hard at your comedy as you do at trying to get a date or trying to get drugs. You know what I mean? I don't mean it, and I don't want you to get drugs, but I always go, if you really want something, I've seen you get it, so why
Right.
don't you want to do this? And I think because you have to put a lot of work in. But it's there for the taking. There's stand-ups, I would say stand-ups more alive and well than ever.
I think so.
I see these guys and I go, wow, where'd he come from?
Do you ever work those really small art rooms?
If I'm working on something, I work all the rooms that night.
Yeah.
Like if I'm going to do a stand-up set on TV, I go to all the rooms. But I don't go to the art rooms so much just because I go to the Improv, I go to the Laugh Factory, I go to the Comedy Store. Then I get, that's the early show. Then I go to the next show, I go to the Laugh Factory, I go to the Improv, I go to the... So I have 6 times to get it right. And then I go down to Hermosa Beach Comedy, in Magic Club. You know, so you know, you're trying to get a joke right. I'm trying to get, because you can't. It's stand up is the only thing you can't rehearse unless you have a lot. It has to be done with an audience.
Right.
You can't make up stand up and then take it up there and do it. You know what I mean? You can't practice it. It won't work. You won't get the timing right.
Do you when you're on stage, you develop the jokes over time?
I always try something new. The very first Tonight Show, when Johnny Carson did a thing in his monologue about McDonald's, it was a billion served. I came out and ad-libbed. I was just at McDonald's and the sign changed again. Because I said, if I don't do it here, then I won't do it anywhere. So do it here, and then you'll do it everywhere. Don't be afraid to do a new joke. I'm glad it worked and landed, and they liked it, but they didn't. You weren't supposed to ever do anything like that before at the Tonight Show.
Is there any story from the book that you'd like to share with the fans?
Well, let me just put these are at Home Depot, $5. Aren't they fantastic for $5, honestly?
They frame your head well.
They do. $5. I bought 3 pair of them. This is my mother. There you go. That's my mother. Let's see. Oh, well, one of the things that we did what was really cool is I have the thing here. I'll just tell you. Do you want me to read a little thing?
Sure. Is that okay?
Is that all right? Or does that hurt us?
No, I think I got.
We'll lose people if you read.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, it's just a 2-page thing. It's really short. Things I miss. I'm trying to find it. You know what? I can never find anything. Things I miss, or I can't. Things.
I'm not sure.
Oh.
Is it called something else?
Yeah, of course I can't remember it. But I want to find it.
What's it about?
It's about me in the kitchen with my mom. I can't think of the...
I wish I hadn't missed followed. Is that one?
Things I miss? Oh, one thing I really miss. Hey, Mom, being in the kitchen with you when you were making something delicious. How great was that? Dad wasn't home yet from work. No one else was there. Well, maybe Lisa. She was always helpful, but often it was just you and me. You'd begin the ritual of taking all the vegetables out, cleaning them. I hate dirty celery, you'd say. Celery should be clean and crisp. You'd cut them precisely, each piece into the size of knuckles. Then wash the radishes. Then cut them in half. You loved radishes. You loved a good cucumber. Peel a cuke for me, will you, Louie? You'd put them in vinegar and cut up onions and let them marinate. As delicious as they were then, when I think about them now, they seem even more so. I look for them everywhere I go, but nobody has them. Because the older we get, the more we like things pickled. Dad was always pickled, wasn't he, Mom? That was a good one. That was a good one, Louie. I often do that to myself and just say, that was a good one, Louie, and then laugh. And then I go, yeah, it was good, Louie. What a good laugh you had. You kept cutting vegetables and you'd purse your lips and your eyes would go up, the same expression Christine uses. It comes close to looking like exasperation, but it's not. It's satisfaction. It's approval. That was a good one, Louie, you'd say. Louie, grab the roast. Isn't that a gorgeous roast? I never thought a word like gorgeous applied to something like a roast, but maybe you did because you knew how to make anything beautiful and valuable, the way you made us feel safe no matter how much danger we were living in. The way you set the table, you'd think the president was coming over. Little salt dips for the radishes, oil and vinegar cruets, cloth napkins, and if for no one else, Mom, at least it was for you. You found a way to live richly in poor conditions, high class all the way. I miss those little things, but now I don't really have to miss them because I reenact them on TV. Love, Louie.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Yeah, that was always so much fun. I mean, she made it an epic thing. Who could make vegetables interesting is what I wanted to know. But I still remember that. I still cut the things, and this is what our parents give us. They give us all those things. Everybody has a story like that, and luckily we have quite a few wonderful stories in here that are.
Yeah, I always find like it's just you have that like totem. Like I have a knife that's just like a butter knife.
Yeah.
That, like it came from my kitchen and growing up. Like I just open the drawer, I see that, and I know my entire childhood just from like seeing
It is. It's exactly right. And I carry in my bag all kinds of little trinkets and stuff. I go, because they remind me of that time and my mom and my dad and our families. They're always with us. We bring them to work. We bring them out with us. We bring them on dates with us. We bring them everywhere. They're just with us. All that stuff. And that's why we get so mad at them sometimes, is because, Jesus, leave us alone. But that's what happens, and this was really a great, wonderful kind of bookend to all my books about my family. I doubt that, I think I don't know if I could ever write another book about my family. This kind of is it for me.
And I love how you always have these big family reunions.
Yeah,
special to you.
You know what's so great is I did a family reunion with everyone in Vegas. And then my nephew, Jimmy, my brother Jimmy, the favorite in the family, his son, Jim Jr. So Jimmy and his wife Janice, they brought back the reunion. And that was such a big load off me for doing it, because I always felt like, do people really want this? And they did it, and we did it again. We did it like 2 or 3 years ago, and then like this last year. And so it was really good, and people come. There's no pressure, and it was really fun.
That's great.
And it doesn't. You don't have to. You should just. I used to love the thing. I don't know if people still do it. But you used to drop in on our house all the time after you became adults.
Yep.
You'd stop over. What are you doing, Mom? I'm just putting some Folgers on. Do you want a cup? Yeah, of course. Do you have any of that Devil's Food cake, that Duncan Hines chocolate Devil's Food cake? Do I? She'd say.
All right, I've been prompted to try to do the 22 questions.
Let's do them. You ready? I got to get a sip of water.
Okay.
Where's my water zone?
All right.
Somewhere. Here it is. Hold on.
Okay.
My mom would disapprove of not having a crystal cup here.
we have the very best paper.
Hold on a second. I just want anyone using this.
I know. I'm not going to touch it.
He's sick. He says he's not sick, but I'm pretty sure he's got diphtheria.
I'm alive. I'm fine. All right.
All right, let's do
Ready?
it. Mm-hmm.
Who's got the timer? Ready?
All
Ready,
right.
Jessica? Here we go.
All right.
22 questions in 2 minutes. Where were you born?
St. Paul, Minnesota.
Who would you want to play? Who would you want
This
to
doesn't
play
count
you?
on my seconds, does it?
In a movie?
Brad Pitt, why not?
What was your first job?
I worked at a gas station.
What is your greatest accomplishment?
God, I guess, writing this book right now. My greatest accomplishment is still being alive.
What's your biggest fear?
Still being alive.
What is the one thing you need to have in the fridge at all times?
I gotta have, I love cold apples.
I like cold apples, too.
Yeah.
I hate warm fruit.
I hate warm fruit.
Who is the most interesting person you've met recently?
Jeez. Oh, I already failed this whole thing. I don't, oh God. I'm gonna say Matthew. I'm gonna say you, Matthew.
Well, you've met a...
I bet it, but I can't think of it. I got a block in this.
All right, we'll come back.
All right.
How do you take your coffee?
I like a lot of cream. I like powdered, cheap, poor white trash powdered cream.
What's your middle name?
Perry, after my uncle.
What is your biggest pet peeve?
People being mean to people for no reason.
What's your favorite hobby?
I guess golf. I love writing. I love reading, and I love listening to podcasts.
What is your guilty pleasure?
A giant bowl of ice cream with cookies and chocolate and butterscotch and nuts.
Do you have any hidden talents?
I like to think I could sing. I haven't worked at it, but I'd like to think I could become a singer.
But you don't know if it's an actual talent.
I don't want to have to prove it here.
What color is your toothbrush?
It's black.
Oh. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
I used to be a night. I used to be a night owl for sure, but now I'm a mid-morning person.
What is your worst habit?
Procrastination. I procrastinate about things I'm going to do.
What was the last gift you gave?
Well, this book I gave. I went on Amazon the other night and I bought people a bunch of books because I wanted them to get them because I couldn't get them to them in time.
That's very sweet.
Yeah.
What is the last album you bought? Music album.
Oh God, the last album. Ziggy Stardust, probably.
There's no shame there.
No, I loved it.
What is your favorite thing to cook?
I love to get ground turkey, and I like to cook the turkey, put onions in, put mushrooms in, put broccoli in, put like 10 vegetables in, and then cook them all together, and then put a splash of Worcestershire sauce in.
Where's that come
It's
from?
a stir from this diet I was on that I was so successful. I just had protein and vegetables, so I had to make it somehow taste good. Oh, and I like to squeeze a lime or a lemon on it too.
That's good.
It's really delicious, and it almost tastes like it's bad for you.
What cause is dear to your heart?
It's called Make Your Date, and it's it's in Detroit. We do it every year, and it's for, they had the highest mortality rate for babies, and so this is an organization that helps those young girls and women and older women, all different stages, get to their dates, because it's about those dates with the doctor. It's about getting to the doctor. And we served 50. I haven't, but I do the entertainment to help people come to help donate. 5,500 women, I think.
That's great.
And
All right. Name anything on your bucket list. So I guess something you haven't done yet that you want to.
I guess, I'd like to. I'd like to somehow figure out how I could learn something or get good enough something to be in the Olympics. I think it is, since I've been 20 years old, I think I could probably do that. Now I'm down to curling and luge. But I always think, I could be on a luge. Why couldn't I?
Stick you on the top.
Just put me on a luge. And somebody could lay on top of me if they want to. I wouldn't care. And we'd just go down the luge. And that's what I always think. Every time I watch the Olympics, I'm so egotistical. I think to myself, I could do something like this. I definitely could do that little brush thing.
Yep.
I'm pretty good.
All right, last one.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back.
Okay.
We missed one. Where do you want to go that you've never been?
I would like to go to China. I'd like to see it. I would. I really, though, I have a soft spot. I'd like to go to Turkey, Romania, and Poland, because I have 300,000
Yes.
Facebook
I love this.
fans, because from Life with Louie, it aired in those countries, and they love Life with Louie there, and they ask me to come all the time, and so I'd really like to go there, because I love that cartoon touched them.
I was one of the sweetest things learning from this book. I think there's a story in here where somebody took it as like a college, like their thesis they wrote
There was
about.
the thesis of Life with Louie.
That was great. All right, last one. Who is the most interesting person you've met? Or you can say recently.
Okay, all right. The most interesting person I met.
We can talk about you. One of your regrets in this book, something I was thinking about is you met Reagan, right?
Yeah, I guess I always think know how to save the world. So I guess in that I guess the most I have to tell you that I've met so many interesting people that I don't know their name that have been at my shows or been there, and I admire people who've been through a lot,
Yeah.
and still remain strong. I guess the Vietnam vets I met up at the Veterans Center
Oh, at the
in
VA?
Las Vegas in VA, because they had stories and they had and I really felt for it.
Okay. Is there? Maybe we only have about 5 more minutes.
Oh, is that
there,
it? Oh,
Is there something you want to say to your mom?
I wish you were here. Wouldn't that be good if we got so good at technology that we could somehow bring people, find that place where the souls are resting or having fun, and we could bring them back for 5 minutes, or they could go into our brain and manifest what we're thinking and bring those people to life. I always think that I still believe that those souls are rushing around and they're around us. I'm always a sucker for any show that has a parallel universe. I go, oh, well, they're just right up here. They're like, if we could see right there, they'd be there.
All right, one more question from Julianne in Sacramento, California. This is she's helpfully letting you plug things here.
Oh.
Do you have any new shows, movies in the works? I want more Louie.
I've looked at something. I can't announce it, but it's a really good part for me. So as soon as I can, I'll announce it. But I am doing tomorrow. I'm going to do the Colbert Show and also Kelly and Ryan. I like that I go all the way back to Regis and Kathy Lee and all the incarnations, which is always fun. And then also I'm going to be on Rachel Ray. That's what I'm really excited. I'm like Rachel Ray. She's the best.
She has great food too.
Yeah, I heard that there's no better green room than
There is
the
though.
Rachel
It has
Ray.
this little house.
You know who, growing up, early in my career, you know who had the best green room of all? A talk show host. Maybe you could guess.
Phil Donahue?
No, younger person. Who do you think? Who had a talk show when I was like in the I guess it was the 90s.
Was it Roseanne? Not Roseanne, but
talk show host.
Ricky Lake.
No, but it was a guy. You should get it. I did Coming to America with him.
Oh,
Arsenio Hall.
But that was late night.
The
wasn't it?
best. Yeah, talk show though.
Okay, I kept.
Oh, you were thinking daytime.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't
Sorry.
mean it. But anyways, he had the best. There was that was the beginning of a giant. There had like 10 different casserole. The things with the fire.
Yep.
The sterno things. It was just great.
All right, so go to louiebook.com.
Yeah.
And you can get these books.
Yeah, get them.
And you can always ask Louie questions. And I hope you guys liked tonight. We had fun.
Yeah, I hope it was fun. I don't know if this was any good or not.
I think
I thought there was some real fun stuff in it.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't do the whole thing with the fire and stuff, but
No, but that's next time.
yep.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Hey,
thank
Mom
you.
is a great gift for your mother. I'm telling you. I'm not just saying it because it's my book. But I'm telling you, I'm not kidding you. All right, maybe a little bit because it's my book. But honestly, it is. I'm proud of it.
All right.